Yo, what's happening guys? Welcome back to Tokimotive. It's nearly time for first start. I'm fans and radiator away from being able to start it and dial in the trigger kit and everything like that, and then sort of break everything in. Everything should be pretty alright. I got good oil in it, everything like that. Plugs are already gapped down to that 0.5. Fixed up a bunch of little things that are just niggling issues and going to be issues later very soon, like, you know, the hoses that are getting on their last legs, stuff like that. So should be sweet. Gearbox is all full of oil, slaves on, everything, so we should be pretty well good. So I'm going to get these fans fit up, wire in a relay, I'll connect them up to the ECU, and then it's time to start punching numbers and stuff on the Haltech. And set base timing and start. Whew. Alright, I'm going to get into it. Alright, well, looks like we're going back to a factory radiator from the Fenix one, but I don't know where I put it, but we're going back to a factory rad, because that's going to be the only way to get these fans to actually clear. And I've just belted in the rad support to make a bit more room, but it's going to be the only way to actually get them to fit. This radiator's not too old at all, but this was the one that was in the OG Wagon when it got written off. You can see the fins are very chewed out and it's been twisted, and it made a lot of cracking noises when I twisted it back. So I'm not going to run that. So there's actually one in stock in Browns Plains, so perfect. I'm going to there. Thank you again, Ben. Hopefully it's a dual core and actually going to be good. And then that means I've got basically a full fresh cooling system. There's no sending old chunks of rusty stuff back through. So that'll be good. Yeah, I'm going back to factory, but the Fenix rad is getting a bit, how you going? It's kinda, yeah, there's a lot of rust and chunks in there. So, whew, I better saddle up the daily and head out. Grab that so I can come home, get this in, like clean up the shroud, make sure it seals, and then I can start it, which, all right, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna get that, and whew, I get to hear it run soon. Alright, fresh radiator, nice and clean, squeaky clean. May have to fill in this shroud, and I probably will, but how much it's pulling through, feeling from the backside here, this will be enough at least for daily use so I can bed in the clutch and all that. I'm out as a single output right now. That will probably change once I work out where I've put the other wires for the DPOs, the outputs, but I've only got one there at the moment. Once I get two, I'll probably stage it in the ECU, and then it's negatively switched on this so that I'm not overheating and cooking that relay, because some of the power's actually already been used by the fans, so there's not as much going out the negative by rights. So this I've just twisted it around and made a ring terminal, because I don't have one, but I'm not waiting till tomorrow to start this thing. So that'll do for now. Wrapped it around, pulled it back, and then just put heat shrink over it to sort of tighten it up, so it's not just a twist over and hope it stays together. It'll somewhat stay together, just temporary. Thermo fans all set up here, and say turn on at 20, 16, that'll do. And set this to 0, like so, and go apply. Fans kick on. So now I'll just set this back and go apply, and she turns off. Working perfect. Turns out the reason I never had the long-term fuel trim for this ECU is purely, where are we? Where's O2? O2, hello O2, where are you? There. It's purely because I didn't have the firmware updated on the ECU. It was still old as firmware on it. So yeah, now I have long-term fuel trim, which is an exceptionally handy tool that Haltech offers. That basically allows the ECU to do fine tuning of the fueling over the entire map, set up through your target map you make, so you don't have to go through and iron out each individual cell. Get it close, and then let the ECU do that very fine tuning that's it's a little bit harder to dial in unless you can load it up on a dyno and get it into each exact cell. But it just fine tunes it, and then you can apply the long-term fuel trim to the map afterwards. And yeah, pretty cool setup. And I've never been able to use it. I just didn't think it was available in ESP. Turns out it was just a firmware issue. So now I've got it, which is going to make this a hell of a lot easier for getting this thing tuned and running well enough for Matsuri. So that's good. Means even while I'm there, I can just every now and then jump in the laptop and just make the fuels better, which is fantastic. That's what I wanted. I thought I was going to have to update to NSP, but looks like I don't have to, so that's good. I just hit up Graham from G&T, the ones who get that kit made. So for the G&T Performance Trigger Kit for the RB30, the settings for Haltech, it's generic, multi-tooth, single tooth home. And it's the trigger signals on crank. There's 12 teeth, which you would have seen on the motor when we were putting it together and getting it in. And then the missing teeth is blanked out because there's no missing teeth in it. And that's pretty well it. Single tooth home, that's that. Single tooth home is this. Moves your home signal to the cam gear instead of the crank. And then down behind the balancer there's a 12 tooth gear on the actual crank, what all that wiring's running down to there. So now I will have beautifully accurate trigger signal that doesn't just wander all over the place with belt deflection. The home being separate to the trigger, we'll just reset it, and the trigger itself, it's on the crank. So belt deflection ain't gonna do a damn thing to it, which is great. Made sure I've done the wiring mint, made sure my connections are as good as possible and the wires aren't under tension or anything like that, and checked, made sure I had 1 mil clearance between both pickup points. Should be absolutely mint. Should not have any more trigger dropouts like factory cars. Thinking back, it was after I put the big cam in that the forged motor originally had issues. And then I started having trigger issues as well, again, with the full Sen 30, once it had the big cam in it and I started pushing it. I'm gonna say I was just on the edge of what the factory cars could handle when it comes to like heavy duty valve springs, big cam, like limiter, high RPM, all that sort of stuff. It's all a factor that goes into account. And you think about it, it's like, if you've looked inside a Nissan cars, that thin little wafer, you can kind of see why they have issues. So, going to be a much better setup. Running G&T performance stuff. Seeing as Graham's got nearly as much RB30 experience as time that I've been on this planet, yeah, I'll definitely take into account what he says and the stuff that he makes. So, I'm going to put some coolant in, and then it's time for first start. Alright. Radiator's as full as I'll get it. Ignition lock is on. And trigger, something for this kit Graham just filled me in on. Quick start. That allows it to, because you've only got one home tooth, it allows it to start up quicker without cranking for it to resync itself. So that's good to have on. Ignition locked, 20 degrees. Timing light ready to check base timing. With any luck, it's close enough that it will just start and then I can timing gun it and tweak it off of there. Otherwise, I'll be calling Kat out and she can sit in there and crank it while I check the timing. So, nearly done goofed. Nearly goofed. Fuel line was loose. Not a good start. Can't see any misting of fuel. Sounds mildly retarded. Okay. 15. See? Sounds like the battery's low. Come on. Woo! We have oil pressure. Very, very healthy oil pressure. I don't see any fresh puddling. Alright. We're like -3 degrees. Take this back to about 85. Apply that. Jesus, I meant to do that. Well, that's officially our first heat cycle. Whoopsie. Now that I've repaired my rookie mistake and dumped half of my new coolant on the floor, I thought to back up with water, but anyway. My rookie mistake, I believe, was I sort of may have blocked off the heater routing. From speaking to a couple of people, I thought it'd be okay, but from memory and looking at the bypass kits, it's got to be maintained. So I've just put a fresh hose in there. The clamp right at the back there decided to twist itself out completely and lock itself on. So yeah, that's a quick way to burn through nearly 2 hours just hating life. But let's try and start her again and see if it does the same sort of shit, because that just seemed like a pocket of water overheating in the motor, and it didn't seem like it was actually flowing with the water pump when the thermostat opened. So I'm gonna say, yeah, I f***ed up. But anyway, time to start it. I just want to sleep now. I wanted to start it and take it for a lap around the yard and throw the kit on and take it to the car wash, but I think that's first drive might be a tomorrow job. So the main focus for right now for this video is getting it to run and like stay running and run all right, because yeah, but I can't be cooking a fresh built motor. That's, yeah, not ideal. Someone forgot to plug the idle air control valve back in. Ah, that might do it. Judging by the fact that the heat's running through that hose, yeah, I definitely shouldn't have deleted that. The bubbles you expect, not. So I figured out the problem. Coolant wasn't passing through the motor. See that? When you install a brand new radiator, double check that you pulled the caps out. Idiot. Lucky I shut it off before it got like way too hot, but fucking idiot. Absolute idiot. I probably have to pop the top radiator hose off now and see if that cap's in there. Because thinking back, I don't remember removing either of them. I know I removed the one for the fill, but not... Idiot. This guy. Dumbass. All three caps located. I was starting to get worried one pushed into the rad or sucked in, but one was on the floor, so I removed one, and this one was from the top, but I forgot the lower one. Idiot. Alright, let's try again now that the radiator can actually flow water. Temperature rising significantly slower. Well, thermostat will be opening. We have flowing water. 84. The cooling system is definitely working. There it goes. Drops the temp pretty quick. The lines are just replacing the leaking. Wow. Holy crap. Think it's gonna be good. The fuels are diving rich and it is so heavy. The prep time is like instant, like full. But this is like fresh as fresh gets sort of motor. Freshest 30 I've ever had. And it's also got the big cam and the ported head. But the response difference is massive. It's just little flips and it's like whoop, whoop, wrench straight away. And the fuels aren't even good, they're rich. Well, fans are working. Not that they're doing much work. They only kick in for a moment, and they're gone again. New radiator's doing the goods. That'll kick off. A moment. There we go. And they're gone. Mint. Halfway to air cooled. It's kind of quieter, which is generally the sound of a happier motor. She sounds good, but sounds real good. And it's super responsive. Like straight away. This is gonna be sick. Ooh! I really can't believe I did that. On that note, I think it's time to sign off and go to bed. I'll let this thermo fan do its last cycle here. I'm definitely going to have to work on that as soon as the voltage drops and starts to hunt. But that's all tuned stuff and the laptop's flat, so I'm just happy I sorted out that issue. I was starting to get worried that I picked a head that was cracked or something. Woo! We're good. We're good. Massive sigh of relief. The anxiety should have been gone by now, but still there. Sounds fat. Alright guys, I didn't finish a full outro at this bit, but that is a signing off. Thank you guys for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Life's still a bit messed up. I am getting to everything as quick as I can, and my joy for editing and making good content is coming back, so that's positive. But thank you guys for watching and watching my dumbass mistakes. But thank you guys, I appreciate you as always. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, comment down below, let me know your dumb mistakes, the things where it's so simple you just kick yourself afterwards. Let me know down below so I don't feel like a complete and utter moron. But anyway, subscribe if you haven't already. Share the video if you think it's something your friends will enjoy. And strap yourselves in for some more content in the future. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.